Hey guys, so welcome back to my second channel. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna friggin' do it. So I've had a pretty horrific week and I'm not somebody who likes to be negative on YouTube. I like to have everything generally that I do is positive and happy and or funny or things like that. And even when I talk about things that go wrong in my life, I like to put a fun spin on them, like the friggin' security guard guy. I'm still angry about that. But I've had a pretty awful week this week. I've been trying to get loads of things done. I've got like 5 YouTube videos I want to film, and every day, some random curveball just seems to be thrown into my life and mess up every plan I ever had. Which is, you know, a very great thing for my procrastination levels, but not a great thing for my life. And I thought I'd just share them with you so that I can firstly offer some helpful advice on how not to go through the things I went through, and secondly, I can just vent them all onto the internet and rant, and as long as everyone else is about as pissed off as I am this week, then we're all good and happy, right? It doesn't work like that, but... First up on this comprehensive list of shit, the Apple story. So my week started off pretty terribly when I woke up and found that someone had used my Apple business account to order £7,000 of Macs. So when you have a business, which for some reason I do because 4,000 people decided to trust me to make a film, you're able to set up business accounts with companies where you're able to get their products a little bit cheaper if you're a business. So, for example, I got my Mac for like 150, 200 pounds off just because of our business. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it was pretty good. The problem with that is that when I opened the account, I'm just called Luke Hupforth, and I didn't realise that there are people on the internet who know about me. And someone, I don't know who they are, if you're watching, then, I mean, get alive a little bit, get alive. They rang up the Apple store where my parents lived and they ordered £7,000 of Macs. And for some reason, they shipped them to YouTube's headquarters. And the thing is, I know full well that the people who did this, whoever they are, did this to piss me off and annoy me, which by making this video, I suppose I'm playing right into their hands of their little sick little twisted thing of let's piss off Luke for a day, but I mean, I made a video out of it. I'm fine. So I basically spent the morning on the phone to YouTube, like, who the hell has ordered £7,000 of Macs on my account to your headquarters? And it turned out that they hadn't. Nobody had. They didn't even have anyone working there under the name that they'd been ordered for. So it wasn't YouTube. So sorry, YouTube, for getting all angry at you. And I called the police, and they're tracking the email of the person who did it and the phone number of the person who rang up, and it'll be fine. Everything's fine. So that's number one. That's number one of my bad week. Next up, we have the cafe story. So yesterday I wanted to get some work done, so I went outside to a little cafe around the corner, a new cafe which I haven't tried out before, and I went there to get some nice little drinks, do some little laptopy work, have a good day, you know, have a little chill day. Nice day, with no attacking. And as I sat down with my soy milk hot chocolate and my laptop, ready to work away the day, some people walked in and the lady asked whether they had anything vegan. I took an interest in this and I just went, oh, by the way, I'm vegan too. Like, we should chat about that. And her husband interrupts and goes, why are you vegan? That's pointless. So he was getting pretty unpleasant and didn't understand the point of it, and it also turned out that not only is his wife vegan, also his 2 children are vegan. So he's the only one. He's the minority in this situation, and he's just yelling into the wind, absolute crap. His wife got some toast, and he refused to go and ask the barista whether it had milk in it because she felt awkward, and he was like, no, just bloody eat it, it's only a bit of milk. And I started challenging him on it because he was being pretty disrespectful to his wife's choices as a person in the world, and he ended up calling me an awkward, trumped-up bastard. Like, I know there are people with different opinions in the world, that's fine. People have different opinions. I have different opinions to the majority of the population. I am the minority in the diet world. Like, the barista, he went up to the barista and was like, this is bloody awkward, isn't it? Bloody bastards. And then she was like, no, actually, I don't really know much about veganism, but it's a really good movement, and I think it's really honourable that your wife's... Shut up! Bastard, awkward bastard, bitch. And the thing is, he wasn't exactly the peak of health himself. I'm not going to get into shaming people for different body types or whatever, but it's not like he was like the healthiest looking person in the world and he ate all the lean meat and worked out every day and was like a model human being. He wasn't. He very much wasn't. And as I left the shop, he sighed. The funny thing was that I was actually going home to get some money to pay the woman for the stuff I'd bought. So I had to come back in and he looked at me like, oh, you're back. The smelly vegan's back. Crap, get away from my kids, who are also vegan, so that doesn't make sense. And I just felt sorry for her because obviously, regardless of what you believe about this kind of thing, he's not respecting her as a person who has opinions and can form them himself. He's just there like, bacon, bloody bacon, get it in you, there you go. I didn't like him, and I wish I'd just beaten him up. With my little scrawny vegan arms, am I right? Yeah, I'll slap you with my little thin pasty things. Next up on my list of why this was just a terrible week, My voicemails have been being hacked for the last 2 months. So when I get a voicemail, I generally don't bother checking it. I just ring them back and go, what did you want? I couldn't be bothered to listen to your voicemail, sorry. And this means that I had about 2 months of voicemails piling up in my voicemail inbox. And yesterday I got a call from an unknown number, which I don't answer because I'm just terrified. I don't know why, it's just so scary. So I let it go to voicemail and I thought, okay, I'll listen to the voicemail and find out who it was. And then I discovered that the 2 months worth of unlistened voicemails I thought I would have had been being listened to for about 2 months. By somebody who's not me. This is a problem we had a few years ago with the press in the UK and the US. I'm not trying to say this is the press. It very much probably wasn't. It was probably just someone horrible being annoying and wanting to ruin my life. But I had some really personal, like, family things. Like, my mum was really ill recently. My dog died. All these things were in my voicemails. And someone else had been listening to them, which I find really, really weird. And it also turned out that I don't know whether they're connected, but one of the voicemails was from the Apple Store asking whether I wanted to buy anything. And it was about 2 days before my Apple Store hack. So maybe it's connected. It's really, really weird. So my advice on that would be phone up your voicemails and set a little pin thing to something that isn't like the default thing. Because what you might not know is that anyone can call up your phone company, they can put your phone number in, and if you haven't changed your pin, they can listen to all your voicemails. Pretty messed up. Next on the list, all of my passwords leaked last night. So I have a friend of mine who knows lots of hacker people. Yeah, that's a weird connection I have in the world that you didn't know about. And he informed me last night that a load of my passwords had been leaked on the internet. Yay! And earlier that day, I'd randomly got a load of password reset requests, but that's a thing that YouTubers get all the time. People just try and hack into all the stuff. So I didn't really think anything of it. I just deleted them and was like, oh, what a weirdo. Loser, get a life, get your own Instagram account. Bitch. But it turned out that loads of YouTubers' emails and passwords were in this giant database. It's not like specifically targeting YouTubers. But I did the right thing and I went through a long list of loads of YouTubers that I know just in case they were on there, and I let the ones that were know because I'm lovely. But some of the websites being hacked were things like MySpace, Tumblr, LinkedIn, and also Neopets, which is a bit weird. But like big websites were being hacked and their passwords just spread over the internet, which is terrifying and awful. But luckily I managed to change all my passwords before anything horrific happened. And then the last horrific thing happened. The lock story. As I was checking all my friends' passwords to make sure they weren't being hacked, I heard my door downstairs slam. And I realised I hadn't locked it. And I also realised my keys were in the front door. And there was a car outside with its headlights on, which when I checked, then drove away very quickly. Nothing in my house got stolen, but I then quickly called the police and was like, hey, what should I do? And they were like, well, what we think's happened is they've snuck into your house, taken an imprint to copy your key, then they're going to wait until you're away for a while, and they're going to steal everything in your house. You're going to have to get your locks changed, and that costs £150 minimum. Thanks, world! Just as I'm helping out all of my friends, being a lovely human citizen, you throw another fuckball at me. Sorry for my language, It's been a terrible week! And this is the day before I'm meant to be at somewhere in the city. So tonight, a locksmith is coming around at 6 PM, changing my locks, which takes about an hour, and then at 7 or 8 PM, I'm leaving for London. I will arrive at like 11:30 midnight, and then tomorrow, I'm going to somewhere in the city. I will probably have like melting eyes and a vacant stare that just looks through you like I want to murder you. So I'm sorry if I look like that. I really, it's been such a bad week. I really hope somewhere in the city is good. I need something good to happen to me this week. Nothing good has happened to me. So yeah, that's been my week. I hope you enjoyed listening to the travesty that is my life. I'm really enjoying the idea of doing lots of things on this channel that are just like this. Just me chatting about my life, talking about issues. Ooh, bloody Trump, am I right? Yeah, that's the other thing that happened this week. Donald Trump hinted to his supporters that if Hillary Clinton becomes the president, they should just shoot her. The world is so messed up. Not only is the terrible thing that happened to me, Donald Trump also is a bloody idiot. So if there's anything you'd like me to do videos about on this second channel, spice it up a little bit, get a little bit serious, anything you want, then let me know in the comments down below and I will see what I have to do. Okay, have a nice life, guys. See you later.